Hello and welcome back in another video. In this video, we're gonna install our Cyberpanel instance. We will configure our mail server and also do some firewall tweaks. If you don't know, I'm doing series where I'm going to build open source digital agency using only open source applications. And also we have a strict budget like $50 or €50. And this is the phase one and part two, where we're going to need our DNS server, our mail server, and also where we can host our own websites. So if you don't have the prerequisites, as you can watch the video and also you can follow the documentation, where you will find all the prerequisites that you will need in order to build what I'm building, and also for the future videos where we will deploy our custom applications and other stuff. So I encourage you to check the documentation and follow along. So why I choose to build a Cyberpanel? Basically, Cyberpanel is open source panel for cloud hosting. It supports Open Lightspeed and Lightspeed Enterprise. And Cyberpanel is pretty fast and lightweight, and it is almost secure. But we will still do our own security tweaks because sometimes some things are left unsecure. So what we're going to need for Cyberpanel, we will need our server for the Cyberpanel. I recommend using Hetzner, and you can find the link for Hetzner to get 20 euros down below. And also we will need to configure our firewall with Hetzner. So I already set up the firewall, and I will explain what rules we need to set up. So first rule, we need to open port 21 and for FTP and 22 for SSH or SFTP. And if you watch the part one of phase one, when we deploy our own VPN server, we whitelist our own VPN server. So then you can connect with that VPN to your server. Otherwise, it won't have any access. We open port HTTP to any IPv4, so it is globally available, all the websites. Same goes for port 443, which is HTTPS. Then we open port 8090 for Cyberpanel, and also we whitelist that port to our own VPN address. Then we open port 7080 for a Lightspeed. That means a Lightspeed configuration area. And also for FTP, we open ports 401110 and 402110 to our own VPN address. In order to use mail server, you will need to ask Hetzner support to open ports for the email, because out of the box, those ports are left closed for the security reasons. So if you have your new Hetzner account, you just ask support to open email ports so you can host your own email servers. So first port we're going to need to open is port 25, port 587, 465, 1110, 143, 993, and last thing, we need to open our DNS port on port 53. Once you have this, you can just click Save Changes, and we are good to go to proceed with the installation. So for installation, I highly encourage you to check the Cyberpanel documentation. It's pretty comprehensive and straightforward. And when you go to install Cyberpanel, all you need to do is to copy the script. And now we can proceed to our terminal. Let me switch. So now we are logged in as a root on our server. So we're gonna do apt update and apt upgrade. So we have all the latest packages. Usually this process can take 1 or 2 minutes depending on the server speed and how many packages you need to upgrade. And it's going pretty fast, so yeah, just have to wait. So our packages are now updated, and we can paste the Cyberpanel installation script. I'm gonna clear the screen. You're gonna paste it and press enter. All right, let me increase the font size so you can see it better. Where is it? All right. And now you will have to pay a close attention to the installation process. So first, it will ask you if you want to install. So you just press 1 to confirm. And now you have choice. If you want to install Cyberpanel with Open Litespeed, which is completely free, and also it will give you option to install Cyberpanel with Litespeed Enterprise. And in this case, we're gonna do Litespeed Enterprise because you can get Litespeed Enterprise license for a 2 GB server completely for free. And also you can start your trial so you can decide. So it is really up to you if you want to use Open Litespeed or Litespeed Enterprise. But the main difference between Open Litespeed and the Litespeed Enterprise is that Litespeed Enterprise is direct replacement for Apache Web Server. That means you will get access to the all htaccess rules and rewrite rules. On the other hand, Open Litespeed does not support htaccess. You will need to build custom configuration if you want to use like security headers or rewrite rules or anything else. So we're gonna press 2 for Litespeed Enterprise, and we can get our license. So let me move back to our browser and I will show you where you can get your license. So when you go to the lightspeedtech.com, you can see the products and you can check the pricing. Let me zoom in so you can see it better. And as you can see, you can get the free starter license for 1 domain and for less than 2 GB memory on your server completely for free. But if you want to host more domains and use more powerful server, you can get a 5 domain license for 8 GB memory server for $10 a month. But for this, we're gonna stick with free starter. So I'm going to log into my account. Nope. Remember. Yep. And basically, when you have your account, here you can see your services. When you purchase the free starter license, this one is active. I'm gonna release the license from the old server so we can install it on our new one. And what you need to do is to copy the serial number and you can paste it then in the terminal. So I'm going to switch the window back to terminal. And now you paste the license. It will ask you if it's correct. You press Y as yes. And now it will ask you if you want to install full service for Cyberpanel. This will include a Power DNS management, postfix for mail server, and FTP, pure FTP for FTP connections. So we're gonna enter yes. Now, do you want to set up remote MySQL database. If you don't have special server for database only, you just press no. In most cases, just no. You press enter for the latest version. Now you're gonna set the password. So type S, enter, and now enter your Cyberpanel admin password. And now you need to confirm the password. Do you want to install Memcached process and its PHP extensions? No, I don't like using Memcached, but I really like using Redis. It is a lot faster. So for Redis, you press Y. Would you like to set up a watchdog? Usually yes, and watchdog is the service that will monitor all necessary services if they are running. If, for example, MariaDB suddenly stopped, watchdog will automatically start the service. So we type yes with capital Y. And now our Cyberpanel package is going to be installed, and usually this can take from 10 minutes to 15 minutes depending on your server. So once this is installed, we will continue. Alright, so our Cyberpanel was successfully installed. It took 40 minutes. And now make sure you see those TCP ports in green. Otherwise, if you don't have some ports opened, you need to go back to check your firewall, and then you need to proceed with the installation again. But in this case, we have everything in green, so we are good to go. And now it will ask you to restart your server, and you press Y to restart. So after a couple seconds or 1 minute, the server will be available again, and we can, for now, we can copy this IP address because this will be our Cyberpanel web user interface, and later we will install our WebUI on our subdomain. So we can move back to browser to check if our server is already up. Okay. And we can paste the IP and the port. It will ask you that is not certificate authority is invalid because it is is not on the SSL for now. And we whitelisted our own VPN address to this port, so only you have access to the Cyberpanel. So first, what we need to do, I'm gonna type admin and your password you specified during the installation. You click sign in. So now you are in the Cyberpanel. So first I like to enable the dark mode. So you go to design, and here you can select the dark mode, and you click save changes, and voila, Cyberpanel is now in the dark mode, which I really like. Another thing that I like to set up as a first thing is to enable 2FA for our user. So you go to users and modify user. You select the admin account. You can type your name. You can add your email here, and you enable 2FA. You scan the QR code, and next time you log in, you will be presented by the 2FA. And the last thing that I want to set up out of the box is to change the packages. So you go to packages, modify package, and you modify the default package, which will be your own package. So domains unlimited, unlimited disk space, and unlimited bandwidth. And you click modify package. Alright, so now comes the most crucial part. We're gonna set up our domain and also our DNS server and the mail server. So first thing what we want to do is to add our website. You go to websites, create website. You select the default package. Owner is you. You're gonna deselect the test domain and you type your domain. In this case is webnestify.org. You add your email. PHP select always the latest 8.1. And for now, we wanna check the SSL and create website. Don't check create mail domain because we will set up it differently. So now you click the create website and it will start the website creation. And usually this process takes 20 to 40 seconds. As you can see, sometimes it can take a little bit longer when you add your first domain. So it will check all the settings and it will try to set up the self-sign SSL because at the moment we don't have our DNS server, so we cannot reach the webnestify.org domain or your domain that you added. So we just have to wait until the process is finished. Alright, our website is installed. And now we need to set up our name server. So we go to the DNS and we're gonna create our name server. We're gonna select our domain, which is webnestify.org. A name server is that you specified in your domain registrar. And we can go back to the Porkman and we can check our name servers, which is ns1.webnestify.org or ns2.webnestify.org. So first name, okay, clear this, copy this. Alright, and we copy our IP address. And then we're gonna specify the ns2. And it's going to be the same IP address. Make sure everything is right. And now we're gonna create our name server. Alright. Once we have this, we can now set up our SSL on our domain, on our mailing domain. So we go to SSL. We're gonna click Mail Server SSL. We're gonna check our website and we issue our SSL certificate for our mailing domain. Alright, so we got confirmation that SSL is issued and our mail server is now using Let's Encrypt certificate. Next thing what we're going to check is to check our DNS records. So we go to DNS and add and delete records. You're gonna select your domain, and here you can check all the DNS entries that we're going to need for our mail server. When you check MX, mail server is mail.webnestify.org, automatically configured. We have our SPF, DMARC, and DKIM, but we can do it, or we can add our own if you need it, and also our name servers is already there. Next thing that what we need to do is really important. We need to set up our reverse DNS record, and we can do it in our Hetzner. When you click your server, you go to networking and you edit the reverse DNS. Not reset, but edit. And we're gonna type webnestify.org. All right. So now we can check if our IP addresses and the name servers are propagated successfully. So we're gonna move to our terminal once again. There is the terminal. Terminus. All right, so we are now in our terminal, and we're gonna ping our server. So we're gonna type ping webnestify.org, and as we can see, our IP address correlates to our reverse DNS record. So that's fine. And now we're gonna ping our name servers. So we're gonna ping ns1.webnestify.org, and everything is working as it should be. So now we can deploy our mail, our SSL. So we go back to the browser. We go to websites, list websites, and we can issue our SSL certificate. You can see SSL is being issued, so just be patient with it. All right, our SSL is issued for our website, and we can double check our mail server SSL. So we go to mail server SSL. We're gonna select the website, and we're gonna issue it again to make sure our mail server is on SSL. All right, so everything should be fine. We can try to visit webnestify.org. All right, as you can see, webnestify is fine, and we can go to HTTPS. Probably we're gonna have to wait a little bit for our SSL to be propagated. So we go back, go to website, list websites. You can check the manage. Oh, we still have a self-signed certificate, so sometimes it will do it like this. So we need to issue SSL again, and we can, where is it? But if you have your own SSL certificate, you can add it here in the add SSL. But for now, we need to issue our, let's encrypt. So we're gonna issue it again, and we're gonna continue. So now we're going to create our email address. So in order to do that, we need to go to the email, create email. We will select the website, Username, you can add your username and we can generate our second password. We can copy, click use and create email. And now we can open our webmail. We're gonna open Snap Email and we're gonna add info@webnestify.org. We're gonna log in. Not this one. All right, and we can do our mail tester. Gonna copy it. Gonna send a new message. This is our new mail server. Hello world. And we're gonna click send. Now we go back to the mail tester. And as we can see, our mail goes through, but still we need to add our DKIM signature. And as you can see, hostname is assigned to the server. We have our RDNS and everything is okay, so we're gonna fix the DKIM signature. In order to do that, we need to go back to the Cyberpanel. Go to email again and DKIM manager. I'm gonna select website. And here we need to copy our key. I'm gonna copy it, go back to the DNS, add delete records. Gonna select our website. And it already added the DKIM key here, so that's everything being taken care of. So now we can go check our email again. Refresh it. Gonna send. And we can check it again. Voila, now our score is 10 out of 10. We are properly authenticated. Our server IP is not blacklisted. And we can now use our Cyberpanel to replace Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, or even Zoho email. And also we can set up the mailer in Apple Mail, Mozilla Thunderbird, or any other email client that you are using on your desktop or phone. Last thing that we're going to do is set up our Cyberpanel instance on SSL. So you go back to the SSL and you manage a hostname SSL. You select our website and we're gonna issue SSL for Cyberpanel. Alright, so now we can close this tab and we can continue on our Cyberpanel instance on our SSL. So when we go webnestify.org and we specify the 8090 port, as you can see, we have our SSL certificate. So we're gonna log in with our password. And now we can get access on HTTPS, but I don't like using this because it is working on port 443 and that is available to everyone. So in my case, I like to connect to Cyberpanel via IP address because that IP address and the port is whitelisted to our dedicated VPN that we created in the part 1. So I think this is all for today. And during the week, I will release video where I will configure the Litespeed service and also some tweaks for the Cyberpanel, because This video is already too long, so I want to keep it on the shorter side. So I highly encourage you to test Cyberpanel with Litespeed Enterprise or with Open Litespeed. The choice is yours, and I'm really looking forward to the next part where we will deploy our container and also some Docker services so we can continue growing our digital agency with open source software. Documentation for this Cyberpanel instance will be done later, so you can check the documentation site docs.webnestify.cloud, and let me know if you run into any issues. Leave comments down below, and yeah, I hope you really like this part, and yeah, stay tuned for the next, and see you guys later.